Hello and welcome to this English lesson. I'm your teacher Maria. How are you today? I have a really exciting lesson for you. We are going to learn some new words by reading an interesting article. Let's start. I'm going to read it first and then we'll discuss it. Today's article is called Penguin is Getting Fat. We can see here a picture of a penguin. As Monroe the penguin bulks up for molting season, staff at Taronga Zoo check his weight. When penguins shed their feathers, they can't fish for food, so it's important they prepare for the annual molting season by building up fat reserves. Monroe weighs in at 3.3 kilograms before gulping down his reward. He won't look so trim when he starts the molting process, consuming 1.2 kilograms of fish each day until he reaches 5.5 kilograms. Penguins aren't waterproof when they molt, so they stay on land for 2 to 3 weeks until new feathers emerge from below the skin. This week's weigh-in also meant Monroe could take a stroll through the zoo. Fjordland penguins are listed as a vulnerable species and are only found in the wet coastal rainforest of New Zealand's Fjordland and Stewart Islands. Monroe came to Taronga Zoo 9 years ago. He'd washed up near Norah Heads, suffering from malnutrition after an epic 2,000-kilometer swim across the subantarctic waters. All right. It's a pretty interesting article. We learned some things about penguins. Of course, you can read it again once by yourselves. Now I'm going to explain it. As Monroe the penguin bulks up for molting season, staff at Taronga Zoo check his weight. Bulks up, it means to gain weight, getting fat. Molting season is the season when penguins lose their feathers to replace them with new. Staff is the word that we use to talk about people who work for a business, in this case for Taronga Zoo. When penguins shed their feathers, shed, it means to lose their feathers. They can't fish for food, so it's important they prepare for the annual molting season by building up fat reserves. Building up means to develop gradually. Reserve is the noun for the phrasal verb set aside something for future use. So they set aside fat for the future because they will need it. Monroe weighs in at 3.3 kilograms before gulping down his reward. Gulping down, it means that they swallow quickly food, and reward is the prize they will win after eating so fast. He won't look so trim when he starts the molting process. So trim, it means so slim, consuming 1.2 kilograms of fish each day until he reaches 5.5 kilograms. Penguins aren't waterproof when they molt, so they stay on land for 2 to 3 weeks until new feathers emerge from below the skin. Emerge, it means to appear, until new feathers appear. This week's weigh-in also meant Monroe could take a stroll through the zoo. Stroll is a walk. Fjordland penguins are listed as a vulnerable species and are only found in the wet coastal rainforests of New Zealand's Fjordland and Stewart Islands. Vulnerable, it means that they are open to attack, to harm, to damage. They are open to damage. Monroe came to Taronga Zoo 9 years ago. He'd washed up near Nora Head's, suffering from malnutrition after an epic 2,000-kilometer swim across the subantarctic waters. Malnutrition means poor nutrition. Epic is a word that we use it when we want to say that something is very difficult and impressive. Okay, that was today's lesson. If you have questions, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.